Hey guys, welcome back to my weekly report of all the games I've been playing. And this week I've only played the one game, and of course that game is going to be Assassin's Creed Shadows. So this was a game I was cautiously excited for, and I have been a big fan of Assassin's Creed for a long time. So this game right off the bat is controversial because of Yasuke being I guess a retainer, which is technically a samurai for Oda Nobunaga, and some people are making it a problem because of the color of his skin, while other people like myself think he don't belong in the game just because he's a samurai. This game is called Assassin's Creed for a reason. We want to play as the assassin, and luckily enough you can play whichever character you want, and I have been mostly playing as Naoe only because as of right now, Naoe is the only one I can play. I haven't reached the point of the story where you're able to play whichever one you want, but I'm more than likely going to stick with Naoe. And so far, I'm over 17 hours into the game. I am enjoying the game for what it is. It is your typical Ubisoft open world game, and if that was worrying you, unfortunately, it's the truth. But luckily enough, the game is not hand-holdy like it is for their other games, so there's no constant question marks or the main objective on your map if you don't want to. If you want to dynamically explore the world and find the objectives yourself without any markers, you can do that. But if you don't, you can toggle it back on the options menu and make it that way, and which I think is a really cool feature to have for those that complain about how hand-holdy the previous games were. Now, on top of that, the game does allow you to set your difficulty on however you want when it comes to stealth, combat, and other aspects of the game, which is really nice. And I have to say, I'm really impressed on how polished this game is compared to their more recent games. Like, there's still glitches in this game, and unfortunately some of these glitches are kind of immersion breaking or kind of annoying. Like, sometimes your character, like Naoe, gets stuck on certain objects while you're trying to parkour down, or the parkour controls don't respond to your inputs properly, which is not a new thing, but it's still annoying when it happens. And unfortunately, the parkour doesn't feel as fluid as previous games from my knowledge, but it gets the job done. The combat is actually pretty challenging. I'm playing on normal, and I've died well over 30 times at this point because I am not the greatest at stealth. So I get found out pretty quickly, and then I have to fight my way out or run away and hide, which is funny, but you know, it's a part of the game, and I am enjoying it for what it is. I've been doing all the synchronization points. I've been doing as many of the question mark locations as I can, which is like enemy camps or temples or even meditation points. And overall, it seems like they are respecting the Japanese culture, but you can attack the temples if you want, which is why Japan is kind of pissed about that. But that's our own separate issue. But the dialogue so far isn't cringy at all, at least to me. Everything is believable. The voice actors are doing a pretty decent job. And overall, the story is about Naoe. Her homeland gets invaded by Oda Nobunaga, and after the invasion, her and her father have to protect this box that they've been secretly keeping that Oda Nobunaga wants. And after it gets stolen, they go after it to retrieve it, and after Naoe retreats it, her father ends up getting killed, and now she's hunting down the people responsible for his death on top of getting that box back. So that's basically the premise of the story. Yasuke hasn't really been given much of a story so far, where I'm at in the story. If you don't like open world Ubisoft games, this game is not going to change your mind. If you don't like the direction the games have gone after Origins, then this game is not going to change your mind either. It's not a perfect game, but it is a very entertaining game for me. Some of the complaints I have about the game is some of the glitches that still happen, and luckily enough, screen tearing is not a thing in this game, thank God, because when it was from like Far Cry 6 and even Mirage, very distracting. It's not in this game, thank God, but some of the glitches are annoying. Like in the options menu, you can toggle on to loot everything in the vicinity from a press of a button. Doesn't work at all. Doesn't matter if you back out of the menu or you go back to the main menu or even restarting the game. Doesn't work. So they need to patch that. And I've had an instance where an enemy was running into a torch repeatedly that eventually killed himself, which was hilarious. Like those types of glitches I don't mind, but overall, you know, given how much they delayed the game, I think they probably could have utilized more time to polish the game even more. But then again, this is the most polished game that they've put out in a while, and that's not really saying that much, but still, it's something. And another thing too is this world is pretty big, and there are a lot of interests that you can go and find, but between those stretches is a lot of nature. And this game's world is mostly like taking the views of the world and appreciating the visuals of the game and the environment. Even though the stuff that you can do isn't too close, but not extremely far, but there is a stretch. It's just nothing but forest and animals, and sometimes there are animals that you can paint, and you can add those animals to your home base. But yeah, apart from that, a lot of the environment is just look how pretty it is. And there's not that much to do outside of some of the interests, because there's a lot of forest, and when you try to run through the forest like I have to try to do shortcuts, the bushes and the trees are literally in front of the screen and you can't see your character at all other than the outline, and it's still difficult to traverse the forest. But other than that, I'm enjoying the game. It is a step in the right direction, but I'm hoping that the next game they really nail down what they exactly want to do and really focus it more instead of doing the two protagonists, because I think the game would have been a lot better with just one protagonist. So anyways, that is all I have to say about the game right now. And that was Assassin's Creed Shadows, like I always do every single week. What games are you guys playing? Are you playing Assassin's Creed Shadows? And if you are, how are you liking it? And do you think the controversy with this game is warranted, or people are just being picky because it's Ubisoft? Anyways guys, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.